I was about to say, when did they start calling your boy hole a hotel fan? That's a little insulting, a little demeaning, man. Maybe you should call HR about that.
It's called self-service here, my friend.
Oh, that makes sense.
We're going from the hoary trash name for boy hole and just referring it to as hotel pants.
Yeah.
So Bussy, it's just gonna be hotel pants.
Yeah.
Great.
It's just a hotel pan.
How are you doing, Braden?
Dude, I stared at my resume for about 5.5 hours today.
I noticed.
Yeah.
And then I went to the store and just got a fuck ton of ice cream and an energy drink.
Good combo.
If anyone asks, we record this at 9 a.m.
Yeah, okay. Do you still sleep in like heavily, Braden?
I woke up at like 11:30 today, man. I'm not gonna lie.
God, I can never, bro.
Yeah.
At my latest, I'll be sleeping in at 9, and that's usually on my day off.
When I'm actively working, I wake up on weekends at around like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. But I kind of default to late nights, late mornings.
I get that. I was about to say, it's like when you lived with me, your weekends were like you wake up at like 10:30, 11-ish usually. That's what I remembered.
Well, you see, the problem is when I was living with you, the job that I had back then made me actively hate everything about life itself. So the dreamland was fun.
Same, though. I feel that, though. Because I have in fact, my anxiety for my job is so bad that it's carried over into my bad habits of sleeping, where I'll stay up late, and then if I work the morning shift, I'll just sleep a couple hours and get up and just deal with it for the next couple of weeks until my body can't handle it. And I'll sleep for like 5 hours in the middle of the day because I can't sleep during the day normally.
My friend, go get yourself an Adderall prescription.
Honestly, though.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I used to do the exact same thing as you. And as soon as I started medicating, it was like, oh shit, I'm not taking a 6-hour nap after work every day.
Oh no, it's not every day. I force myself to go a week or two until I need to try to catch back up on my sleep. It's not a good habit.
Well, you can't catch up on your sleep. As soon as it's gone, it's gone. It's it's a myth that we all tell ourselves, essentially.
Yeah, it is, and I can see that. My body can't fucking handle it, and I just crash.
You say myth, I say conspiracy. They're lying to us, sheeple. The sleep debt, flurp derp is not real.
It isn't. Your body just needs the optimal 8 hours of rest, and then for that day you're good. And if you don't get it one day, well, you're fucked that day. But the next day you can get the 8 hours of rest again, and then you're fine the next day. So those 8 hours, those 4 or 5 hours you missed on that one day isn't going to do jack shit if you try and make up for it the next day. So
yeah, exactly.
So how's raising a toddler and a newborn baby?
Oh yeah, I'm sleep deprived as shit. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you just saying that you can't catch up on sleep, so that way you can't just go, if I take a nap right now, maybe it will be better?
Oh, dude, even on my medication, I have been so tired that I take a nap.
Oh, of course, man.
So yeah. It's I can have crack running through me, and I'd probably still be so tired that I have to take a nap.
Yeah, so, I get that.
Talking through experience.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, it is allegedly.
Allegedly.
Adderalls could be a form of crack. Well, technically, it's a meth.
Amphetamine. It's an amphetamine salt.
Mm-hmm.
which is basically like a purified meth. So instead of making it in a Winnebago out of cold medicine, you just synthesize it in a lab from one step to another.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it literally like one bond molecule different from regular Adderall?
Pretty much.
If I remember right.
Yeah. Welcome back to Hard Homies podcast, everyone.
We do that so hard, man.
I know.
We just get talking, and we always forget to do the intro. I did have something I might wanted to lead with, but we kind of already talked about it.
Open, all the good shows do it.
Yeah, that's true. Fair.
Yeah.
Because who sticks around for the intro unless it's a banger? Because it's usually a cold open that's funny.
Yeah,
exactly.
Cool.
And then the banger shows up when I bang you.
Well, and I don't know if you guys listen to the way I do our cold opens, but like whenever we are about to say, welcome back to the show, I'll just have the music come in and it just plays while we're still talking. So and that way
I think it's perfect, actually. I think
it works really well. The only disadvantage is that every single time I look like I am the most batshit insane gusto running around.
Well, it's because every time we've had a conversation and like in the beginning, you say some crazy ass shit that I'm like, oh, this is going to be hilarious to open on.
Yeah, of course.
I do that intentionally, but then like when I started listening to your edits, I'm like, oh shit, with the way that Tyler edits these, I sound like I have just escaped the asylum and am recording this in a safe house.
He's our friend who's in a straitjacket, and we just have him on the show.
Hey, I could see that happen to one of us in the future. Okay, so
we're getting transferred to the next location next.
Of the three of us, who do you think would go to the insane asylum first? Mental hospital.
Probably you.
Yeah, you probably might be right about that. I said it and I was like, well, hold on. I think
actually, I'd like to make an argument for Braden.
Okay. Oh, sure.
Okay.
Is that the argument, or do you have an argument?
No. The argument is look at the amount of fucking projects Braden has started and is in the middle of developing over time.
I feel like between three of us, we all do that anyway.
I know, but like Braden has physical evidence of it.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
The problem is because I don't use one of the Twitch backgrounds when we do this, so you are looking at what, 4, 5 right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. Most of mine have now consists of stuff on the computer, so it won't show up the same as Braden's.
Exactly.
Oh, it's even worse. I got the fight sticks right here. I got the reptiles right there. But if I was to like open, like show you around the office, you'd see a bunch of wood. You'd see lab equipment.
Yep. Plants.
So yeah, what do you think the lab equipment is?
Your hentai Hinata controller over there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's gorgeous, Braden. Don't even worry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Braden, I know it's okay. You jizz on top of your controller in the middle of the night. It's all right.
You are accusing me of things that I quite frankly do not believe I deserve. Weren't you coming in with a hot topic and you just talking?
Yeah, but then we started talking, and you know how it goes around here. Exactly. I mean, it is something I wanted to touch on because I actually didn't know about it, but apparently you guys have already talked about it, and it's the whole Justin Roiland case getting dropped.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting because I've always enjoyed his work. Same thing with Dan. But I realizing that Justin comes into a worse light than Dan sometimes, especially right now.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I say that loosely, but it is crazy that like I feel like it's a common case now with a lot of people, and it goes the other way too. But with women accusing men and getting them arrested and trialed for jail, even though they were lying and they weren't guilty in the first place.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked. I think that punishment for lying and doing shit like that should be the same punishment that someone would get for actually committing the crime.
Yeah.
Because what it does is it takes away from actual victims' like voices and them being able to be believed for that shit.
Do you think it should be baseline like a federal offense, to be honest?
Yeah, it should be 100%.
Because that's how I see it.
If we're gonna do it based upon that, I would say if it's at a state level, keep it at a state level.
Okay, yeah.
No, federal offense. Fuck state level. That should be a federal offense.
Yeah,
you should be going to prison for that shit.
Well, in Justin's case specifically, yes, regardless of any.
Well, that was
in anybody's case, like anybody that has been wrongly convicted of rape or a sexual assault crime,
because that's usually what
ruins their life forever. Yeah, their life is completely fucked, and that person who lied can just be like, oh, well, sorry, hee hee. And they get away scot-free, and it pisses me off.
Like, let me make an art exhibit and carry a mattress around.
Oh my god!
You could make millions, Braden.
Millions.
Oh, somebody did that?
Yes.
Yeah.
No fucking way. That's horrible, but that's sad. Okay, I didn't think that would be an actual thing.
Yeah, dude. Why do you think I stopped? I stopped hanging around certain people at, we used to have a larger friend group in high school when we first started going, and I stopped hanging around those guys because I'm like, dude, you guys talk way too much. You guys talk me way too much. I'm going to get lumped into some shit that I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I don't want to be a part of it. Yeah, I get
My
it.
dad messages me one day while I'm at work. He's like, hey, do you know this guy? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, he's dropping you off a birthday present. Like, Dad, just say I'm at work. Just say I'm at work.
My God.
But I really didn't have too much to talk into it other than, I guess this has been going on for a while. And I feel honestly bad in the sense of his whole career is just going to be ruined regardless. There's no coming back. It's a similar case to what happened to Johnny Depp and all that shenanigans.
Well, Johnny Depp kind of got vindicated afterwards.
Yes, he did. But Justin Roiland, I don't see that happening.
Well, because Justin Roiland's fucking weird.
Yeah. The difference is that there were people who wanted Johnny Depp to get vindication.
Yeah.
Nobody. It was kind of fucked up with Justin Roiland's case, but do any of us want?
I do for Rick and Morty. That's all I care about is him doing Rick and Morty and nothing else. But that's
he's your comedy monkey.
Yes,
comedy.
Make him dance.
Hey, do the Rick voice.
I consider that his not redemption, but his punishment.
Magnum opus. His punishment. His punishment for being fucking weird.
Yeah,
I'm just imagining Drek and Brandel is like this little kid wearing lederhosen, holding a lollipop, just looking at him like, do the roar.
Do the roar.
Be funny.
Do the Rick voice.
Burp. Say something about Szechuan sauce.
Can I just say though, if you guys remember the early episodes of Rick and Morty, where the cat episode, the really weird cat, I really want to know what they saw.
Well, that's what makes it so great, right? Because you have no idea. So you just imagine the most horrific things possible. So that's the idea of it. If they showed you, it would never match what you could imagine.
No, never.
And keep in mind that this is the show where they have a character literally named Naruto, the space incest baby. So what did they see? If they were willing to draw that, go to that extent, what extent were they not willing to go to?
Well, what makes it even worse is Rick did Jerry a favor and wiped his fucking mind. And in what universe would he ever help Jerry in that scenario?
Right? So that just speaks to how terrible it is.
And at that point, it's like, yo, I hate you, man. You annoying, but you are a man, and as a man, I cannot let you suffer the way that I have suffered.
As a person who would become basically almost a deity in this sense, I can see that happening because of the shit that they would have to go, that had gone through, or Rick has gone through in this case.
No kidding.
Oh man.
What?
No, just I feel like I haven't watched that show in so long though.
I haven't watched since past season 4.
Yeah.
So yeah. I went on a hiatus of it, and then I was going to binge it to try to catch up. And then that thing happened with him, and then I was disgusted and never wanted to watch another episode. And then I got really depressed about it because I loved that show.
Oh man, yeah. Separating art from the artist can be so hard. Like I cannot listen to R. Kelly music at all.
I was just about to say, like, the example for that always goes to R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, yeah. But then the inverse example of that is Michael Jackson. Yes. Which is so funny.
It's hilarious.
Because they arguably did basically the same thing. And it's been proven that so at first it was like, oh, those were all false claims, and like everyone's like, okay, so like that didn't actually happen. But then recently it was like, okay, but then it actually did happen. And I don't know. It's too confusing. It's too conflicting, man.
I was about to say, Ty, didn't we have like a good 4 or 5 hour long conversation
about whether or not Michael Jackson touched the kids or not? I don't remember this.
No, it was us having a debate over the fallacy of you cannot have a good artist with good music. You either get bad music with a good person artist, or you get a bad person artist making good music, right? This is why
I do remember this.
This is why we had decided that Nickelback's music is so shit, but they are the
great people.
Great people, amazing people.
I have an argument. What does that make Chester, the man who killed himself, a bad person?
In the eyes of the Catholic Church.
Good one. Perfect. That was a great answer. I love it.
I had a roommate. I had a roommate who was like way into conspiracy theories, right? And the one that he was the deepest in is the pedophilic Hollywood elite.
Oh yeah. God.
And he was saying that the string of music artists killing themselves, like Avicii, Chester Bennington, like all of those guys, they were actually murdered because they were about to release a movie and videos and testaments about Hollywood basically having like child cages.
Oh my God.
And everyone was apparently going to go down for pedophilia.
Oh
and
my
his
God.
fingers crossed for George Bush and Hillary Clinton. He was excited to see those guys go down. I'm like, dude.
It sounds like quite the rabbit hole there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean,
isn't that what they said for Justin Roiland's case? Is that he had children locked up or whatever?
No, he had his ex like chained up in a basement or something. Yeah.
Oh my God. I could see him doing a gag about that. Is that sad?
Well, yeah, but like
that's probably why people thought he had a girl chained up in his basement.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember, guys, verify that your local pizza place actually has a basement before you storm in there.
Oh my God, yeah. The whole Pizzagate thing was amazing. Oh,
wait, what is this?
Have you never heard of Pizzagate?
No,
oh my God.
I'm not.
Oh my God. Okay. Before you explain what Pizzagate is, okay, we need to go down a list of things that Brandel may or may not know about, right? So you don't know what Pizzagate is, right? Now, you're a lucky bastard and you have no idea what Christery or Christian is, correct?
Christian sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know what it is.
You lucky son of a bitch.
Yep.
Google Pizzagate and I'm reading the wiki right now.
Oh, okay. Well, since you're reading the wiki, we'll just
you just kind of spoiled the story.
Yeah,
for yourself.
No, okay. I'll back up. I'll listen. I read the title. Okay, I read nothing yet. I'll listen. I'll be a good
The
boy.
idea is when people were tweeting about pizzas, they were actually talking about children. And there's a specific pizza place that was where the government and like the Hollywood elite were trapping children, and that's where they all went to go. You know, they select I want like a cheese pizza, which meant like I want like X kid under X age, or you know, something like that. And there's like this whole like list of things and like the prices and stuff. Like it was wild, dude. It was really like this. You know that meme of Charlie and It's Always Sunny with like the points, like the conspiracy points, like the mail, it all leads back to the mail room. Like,
yes.
Or to HR, right? It was HR lady he needs to go speak to. Exact same feel, like vibe with this. It's honestly incredible.
Things. Yeah.
And then like when the WikiLinks was like posting just like aggregate, like just shares of compiled information, you had people going through them and taking every instance of the word cheese and like stapling it to the wall.
Yep.
Wow.
And that led up to a guy deciding he needed to save the children.
Mm-hmm.
So he puts on a flak jacket, loads his guns, and then storms into the pizza place.
Yep.
Wow.
Threatening to shoot. No. Okay. I don't think he did, at least. Did he?
I can look.
Don't fact check.
No, he didn't. I don't think he fired any shots. He went in, kept asking where it was at, and then the cops were called on him. The cops came and got him. And like he then later apologized for his actions because like they proved to him without beyond a shadow of doubt that there was no underground basement. Yeah, there was like absolutely nothing.
There was no basement.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I can't imagine digging yourself into a hole like that and believing it in such a looking, because you're just looking for answers that might fit. Yeah,
confirmation bias is a hell of a drug.
Yeah,
it's like when Wayfair had listings
that
for
shit
a
was
piece of
crazy.
furniture that was like worth $15,000 and just had like a name like Adam or Wesley, and people were like, if you buy this piece of furniture, in reality you're buying a kid, and the kid's name correlates to this child on the missing persons report. And I'm like, bro, you know how many names there are? And also, you know how drop shipping works? I guarantee you, like 100%, someone just posted the listing for $15,000 to see if any of y'all were stupid enough to order one.
Yeah. And there was also like a super mundane reason for it too. Like they put the price so high so like nobody would buy it. Was like the idea.
Yeah, it's like when you see a Steam game that costs over $1,000 and is like barely running.
Yeah.
You post it so you have the listing up, but until you're ready for it, you keep the price inflated astronomically high, so no one in their right mind.
Right. Yeah. Unless you're some rich asshole who'll go, yeah, sure, we'll throw a couple grand at that.
Yeah.
That does remind me. Go ahead, sorry.
Over in the UK, there was a place called the Rare Plant Store, and they had international shipping shut down for some reason. So to make sure no one was ordering international shipping, they took the shipping and handling price, made it about $1,000, and then just waited for an extremely high order, and then they just went through and manually canceled each order.
Wow. Okay, that's absurd. I did see when I was on the Facebook Marketplace a while ago. I think I might have told you guys about this, but some kid, I'm assuming a kid, posted a a picture of his Minecraft world, and he made this really shoddy picture of a car out of the blocks he had made in his world. And he posted it like he was selling a Ferrari, and he put it for $5,000. And it's just a screenshot with his camera on the TV.
Did you know it's actually illegal to modify or resell a Ferrari?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why Justin Bieber, when he was posting videos of his Ferrari that he just raced to hell, Ferrari sent him a message and said, "Hey, you're banned from Ferrari. You are never allowed to own a Ferrari ever again."
Oof. Well,
because
also,
when you go to buy a Ferrari, their contracts are extensive.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because of them being a super speed vehicle type of deal?
No, it's because Ferrari is so up its own ass that they are like, this machine is perfect. Don't you fuck with it.
My next comment about it was like, who fucking cares? If I had my own Ferrari and I did that because I liked cars and I was told I could no longer have another one, I would be like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Come on.
There's also something that is like Ferrari reserves the right to take back the car if you do anything illegal with the car, including any speeding tickets. And at that point, if you get a Ferrari and drive in a way that never risks a speeding ticket, why the fuck are you getting a goddamn Ferrari?
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck? Why? Then does make sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, don't endanger people, but like, empty road.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of those motorcycle videos where they're outrunning the cops, and it's the funniest thing that I've ever seen. Because
the best way to do that is during rush hour in a motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
Literally, because for one, the cops can only go so fast in those cruisers.
Oh yeah, they're not getting past everyone either. That's the issue.
It was so funny. Emily was like, "Wait a minute! When you ride your motorcycle, how do you get to place so quick? There's so much traffic." And I'm like, "You see that little section of road between the wall and the next car over in the lane? Yeah."
Yep.
If you're on a motorcycle, if you can justify it, you can get away with anything. I promise. I don't promise, actually. Not a call to action. Don't be stupid.
Don't be dumb.
I've seen all kinds of
squids out there.
Your squids?
Squibs.
Oh, yeah.
Squids.
I've seen all kinds of crazy mods that people do just for getting away with getting away from cops and pissing them off because of the modifications.
Are you talking about the button on the handlebars that makes your license plate retract and fold up?
Yes. Or I saw somebody jerry rig one where it just swings on a hinge, and then when he's turning and he's trying to get away, there's magnets behind the plate that'll just stick it to the ceiling side of the plate or underneath the seat when he swings.
But yeah, I was about to bring up motorcycles too, because Ferrari being like, yes, do not do anything with our precious brand. Like when KTM came out, it was like, yes, I know you all like to go very fast, yes. KTM, our sports bike is not suited for civilians like yourself. So you would understand we do not add it to your market. And then you're looking at it and like, KTM, you have the Super Duke, which is the stupidest fucking motorcycle from a like effectiveness standpoint. And they catch fire and explode all the fucking time. And you're saying that your motorcycle that is meant to be ridden on a racetrack is too inappropriate for regular riders.
Imagine.
Exactly.
Have you seen a goddamn Super Duke?
No, I have not.
You plug in the key. Hey, guess what? If the motorcycle decides it's your time to go, it explodes. Hey, you click the gas. Hey, if the motorcycle decides it's your time to go, it's just gonna wheelie you into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So making a turn on a nice little twisty. Hey, guess what? If the motorcycle decides, you're getting high-sided right off that cliff, bud.
I pulled up pictures of it, and that's a crazy frame.
Dude, KTM's design perspective is weird. It's like, look, man, this looks like a goddamn Metroid painted. It not a Metroid. This looks like a goddamn Bionicle painted to look like a traffic cone.
Yeah. Or what's that speed bike movie that we haven't seen in like 10 years? Tron. Tron.
It's not a speed bike movie. I mean, I guess. I guess you could argue that, but
that's all right. I don't think highly of that movie.
You take that back because people watch Tron and then they come out with I'm spacing it. I can't.
The Ducati. Remember. They wanted the Ducati.
No, not the Ducati. KTM just bought it. It was an Austrian company. I'm spacing the name. I'm spacing the name. It's like it's all right. I just brain farted. I'll send a picture when I find it again.
Okay. I did have something to add to your motorcycle thing, though. I've also been seeing videos of decked out electric bikes and people putting these gigantic fucking batteries on them, and that can go just as fast as like a top end motorcycle, if not faster.
Emily has an electric bicycle, and she has had one more before finding the one that she has right now, and like that's such a weird thing to ride if you're used to motorcycles.
Right, I can see that.
Like, I'm topping the thing out, but cars are passing me, and then I go to turn and I go to countersteer like I would on my motorcycle, and then it starts turning the opposite way. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yep, because you just like, go ahead, sorry.
And then like I'm just kind of in the zone, and I'm like, okay, it's time to shift gears right about now. And then I just grab a fistful of brake, and I'm like,
oh, jeez,
like, oh God, my nuts. I call them tank slappers for a reason, boys.
Exactly. Oh man. Well, anyways, tying this all back to Justin Roiland.
Yeah.
Oh man, no. Yeah, I like how we went from Roiland, I think, to then sex trafficking conspiracy theories with Pizzagate.
I literally have a tab open called conspiracy theories, not open for
Ferraris.
Yeah, and then into Ferraris, and then into KTMs. Yeah, okay. That one kind of made sense with the sex trafficking, pedophile conspiracy theories. Okay.
Do you have
R. Kelly's is proven.
Do you have a notebook in front of you that you list the tangents that we go on for the stuff?
No, but I need to. I really want to start doing that. It would be kind of interesting.
It's like Stefan from Saturday Night Live, where it's like, oh my gosh, guys, this club has everything. It's got pizza, pedophiles, chained up women in your basement, motorcycles,
Rick and Morty. You
guys have got to check it out.
It's called Gush.
Now I want to make a room dedicated to that based off our tangents alone. Like
maybe not include the chained up women if you're planning.
Maybe don't.
It'll be with dolls.
Like, okay? Don't get me wrong.
You can
Do
stick them in
not get
cages,
me
apparently. That's
wrong. I
fine, but
am
you have to pay
not
them.
qualified. I am not qualified to give legal advice nor legal counsel. But may I recommend?
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh my God.
Okay, so
yeah.
I have a question. I have a question for you guys, right?
Hmm.
So you guys mainly, Brandel, use TikTok a little bit more than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I was kind of like overlooking the shoulder of a few people. I'm like, why y'all's TikTok so damn sad? Like I see you open up TikTok and 12 minutes later you have tears running down your eyes. When I open up mine, I'm just either getting metal music or I'm laughing because it's dudes getting their balls hit.
So
And I'm like,
that's funny you say that.
why you girls have TikToks that are so damn sad?
So I can answer to that because mine usually falls under 3 categories: comedy, food, or usually news. But I usually get that from the SpongeBob fish. If you guys have heard about that, the AI. No,
No.
So
Yeah.
okay, you know the news anchor from SpongeBob, right?
Yeah.
So they took the AI voice and replicated the fish that talks on the show, and it's its own channel on TikTok. And he comes onto screen to give world events that are going on. And so he has talked about the Israel war that's going on.
I was just about to ask, what does the SpongeBob fish think about the war in Palestine?
He's got videos on it. I think my favorite part about the whole videos that he does, because sometimes they're really funny, but usually at the end of the video, it's an extra 10 seconds long of the little noise that's going on in the background when the news recorder comes on, you know. And 10 seconds and he's finished his broadcast. Yeah. And he's finished his report, and then he just sits there for like in 10 extra seconds in awkward silence.
Fucking
That's great.
That's fucking great. Also, side note
really cool.
about the war in Palestine, I had on one of my feeds, I had gotten like an article. And I was reading the article. I'm like, oh man, this is so fucked up. What the hell is going on, dude? This is fucked. We're all gonna die. And then like I scrolled up the onion. and I'm like, the onion, man. What the fuck? Why as each year we go past, why does the satire bullshit you post sound more and more realistic? To the point now where I see a fucked up news headline and I'm like, nah, it's just the Onion again. And I scroll up and it's like
it's Fox or CNN.
Like, no, dude, it's like the BBC to where
oh my god,
like complete legit stuff. And I'm like, I thought this was fake. I thought this was supposed to be an Onion article, man. Why are you guys so sad?
On a lighter note, if you want to go that way, I don't know. That might make people mad, but people are voting or trying to get Biden impeached. You guys heard about that?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Dude, that's been going on every single day for the last 4 damn years.
Yep.
Did you guys see did you guys watch the TikTok I sent you on Snapchat with the Mitch McConnell? And the interview and him freezing out.
His glitch, yeah.
Dude.
His little glitch up. Yeah, that was funny.
It's like,
I'm gonna be honest, man. I saw that you had sent that when I was waking up, and I'm just like, true that, brother. And I'm like, not even coherent. I haven't
you need to go watch it.
Like, dude, that's fucking, that's the fucking, you spitting the truth right now, brother, man.
I think,
where the fuck is my coffee?
Man, based off of Mitch and like everyone else that's been in politics, I think we need to put like an age cap on how old you can be to be like in charge of the country. Like, you know, like, I think past 65, 70, you should be done.
I believe that everything should have a term limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's never going to happen.
I believe look, I have been told that this opinion of mine may be a little over the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
it goes for anything we say here.
I say that at the end of every year, right, there is a worldwide vote. Like
Worldwide.
Absolutely worldwide.
Okay.
Not just America, worldwide.
Okay.
And every single politician that is holding office is in that vote. And you can vote for any of them, right?
Just for in place of
whatever politician gets the most amount of votes,
we kill.
we kill.
That'd be so good.
Live TV guillotine. All right. We make it so they aren't allowed to make a single cent of salary while they are holding office. And they are always at the risk of being stoned to death live on TV. So that way, anyone who's trying to get in it for money or for control is like, oh shit, I'm not taking that risk.
There's no point to,
Exactly.
Yep.
I think we should just look, okay, I talk a lot of shit about the French, right? Disgusting people. But they may have had
the right idea with the revolution.
They might have had a little bit of idea around 1776. Their execution was a bit off. But of all the ideas that the French have ever had, I would say the only good one. Just a little something to think about, you
know? Just gonna put my little pin drop on it there.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, it's a good idea. It definitely should be the government should fear its people, not the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. Look,
it's kind of hard to do when the government has nukes, though,
and power out the ass. It's just,
which is why I believe in the free market, where
everyone should have a nuke.
I don't think
everyone has the right.
Look, all I'm saying is, if I want to have a cannon, I don't think the government should be able to say I'm not allowed to have a cannon.
You can technically form your own private military group, and then be funded by the government, build up enough resources and supply that you could theoretically oppose a tyrannical government. That tyrannical government would have to be third world country, though.
But here's
then again, some SEALs just took over a country, right?
That's a lot of fucking work. I just want to have a cannon.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Okay.
Right? I believe that my gay neighbors should be able to protect their marijuana farms with AK-47.
That is true. Yeah,
that's my political leaning. I believe that my gay neighbors should be able to protect their marijuana fields with AK-47.
Yes. 100%.
Oh my God. Not to derail you pretty hard there, Braden. But
what are you talking about? This is like the sixth derail on this current derail.
Okay. But it's back to Israel. So
real quick,
I'm putting us back on the track here. It's back to Israel and the war.
I don't
here.
want to be on the track to Israel. I heard they're in some shit right now.
That's the point. But apparently they're building.
It's like when a German dude hands you a bath towel.
Oh God. Okay. Okay.
You can't say no.
No,
it's the implication. You just can't say no.
You can say no. You can say no. There's nothing stopping you from saying no.
Okay, fair enough. But it's going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
But Israel is apparently building a wall, I should say.
Are they going to make it huge?
Yeah, it's gigantic. It's going to be like fucking
the biggest wall ever.
Miles long. Yeah, literally.
Are they making Palestine pay for it?
I don't know. I didn't look that far. You're supposed to. People are going to they're trying to make a new metropolis type of deal, and people are going to be living inside of it. So it'll be this gigantic wall with like housing spaces, and it's all going to be along one strip.
I went on a deep dive into that, right?
Okay.
I went onto a deep dive of that. So what it is basically a mile wide building, but it goes from coast to coast. And it's something like 50 stories high, and the outside is made of nothing but mirrors and solar panels.
Yeah, so it gets, that's how it gets its energy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like all shipment and transportation happens beneath it in tunnels that just are like a train where it goes one way, one way, one way, one way.
Yep.
And everyone would live within 15 minutes of like everything they need.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like no, don't buy a car. You live 15 stories high, but you're a 15 minute walk away from everything that you would ever need. And I'm like, did y'all motherfuckers not watch Snowpiercer? Have you seen Snowpiercer?
I've seen clips of it on TikTok, but I haven't watched it.
Like, Snowpiercer is why we do not do this shit.
Yeah.
I think it could be an interesting idea, but I don't think Earth is the place to do it.
It would get too crowded too fast. They didn't even think about like how population growth would affect that. So,
well, like a lot of the arguments is like, once you can track population curve on a correlation to I think it is national revenue, where the higher the revenue grows and the higher the standard of living, population starts to taper off and just kind of go in a straight line, because people are having 12 kids because you need 12 kids because 6 are going to die and you need at least 4 on each farm.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a farm and your hospital is good, hey, 2 is fine. 2 is fine, man.
Yeah,
so
true.
that's where the argument is building.
Well, that's funny you say that, because I've seen other documents and research and videos about it, but we're not stagnating, but but it seems like we're going to start going on to a decline, but not for like, I don't know, like another 100 years or something like that.
Yeah, 100 to 200 years.
Yeah. But obviously we need to address that well beforehand, because we got a whole bunch of other issues that we need.
Well, Japan's on a decline. Japan might need people to start coming in and, helping them out a little bit.
dude. The prime minister of Japan that was just assassinated?
Yeah.
Oh, no, but yeah, now
that was his deal. It's like, hey, the population is falling so rapidly. How about we pay people to move to Japan to fix our birth rate?
Yeah.
It's like the problem with Japan, right? I lived in Japan, so no one can shit on me for not being Japanese. I lived in the Nippon. It's a cultural thing to where it's the entire thing is driven towards work and productivity, because you have to bring in the money so you can provide and take care of your aging parents who take care of their aging parents, and so on.
Yep.
And so mental health is at a all-time low. Mental health is an all-time low because people aren't taking care of themselves at all. They're not
living, they're working. Yeah.
They're not socializing with people outside of their groups, because the day usually goes, you wake up, get ready, go work, and then after work you have to go to the bar with everyone you work with for like 4 hours, and then you get home plastered, you pass out, wake up, get dressed, go to work, get drunk.
Yeah, so
you don't have any time for meaningful connections, and then all the guys are like, well, I gotta get my nuts somehow, get addicted to porn, add jacking off to their schedule. They don't know how to talk to new people. They don't know how to socialize around women. They can't talk to girls, and they're putting women on a pedestal as a deity, and vice versa, because that's how we get the Yowie hands. And so basically, you're raising up a country of absolute shut-ins. But that being said, I quite enjoy my PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
it's all right.
That's why Hunter x Hunter, if you go through the manga, the art quality starts to degrade over time, to where if you go to the Chimera arc, the art is so shitty because the deadlines are so tight and no room for mental health. So the artist of Hunter x Hunter started to lose his mind a little bit. Went a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, came back, fixed everything later.
Yep.
But
you guys seen the new anime? I'm sure it was the manga already, but the Zom 100 or whatever, where the guy. So this is literally how the intro of the show goes. So it's about beat for beat for what you just said, but literally playing out in the start of the anime on the first episode. So the guy, zombie apocalypse happens, and it's the greatest day of this guy's life because he was working in an office and he got an internship, and first day he stayed there for 4 days or 4 nights in a row. And in between doing the whole drinking and socializing thing, but he's literally was just sleeping in the office. And then next thing you know, it's been 4 years later and he's still working there. And the man looks like he's fucking 50 years old, just dead in the eyes, hasn't had a day off or holiday off in fucking 4 years. And it pretty much described everything you just said. And then when zombie outbreak happens, the guy's the happiest he's ever fucking been.
Yeah, no,
probably, yeah.
Yeah, he's freedom,
Like, hey, I want to watch Agretsuko, but the show makes me sad. Why is that?
Well, that show's so good, though. I love that
it's
show.
sad. Or then you have the show that Tyler started me on, where it's fat worker playing Guilty Gear gets isekai'd as a baby.
Oh, yeah.
And does some questionable things.
Some shitty things, yes.
Very into breastfeeding.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And cucking his dad.
Oh, I see.
Cucking him hard. Yep.
Oh my God. Yep. I don't know.
So hard.
I haven't seen what you're talking about, but all right.
Go on, Tyler. What is it?
Go ahead.
Do you want me to?
Well,
I actually haven't.
It was another.
In a minute. I watched. Sorry,
I thought you read it all.
I was only going to go on another tangent.
I have read
here.
it. Yeah.
Because that reminded me of the shit that Disney's getting right now, and people are creating art. I don't know if it's AI art or regular art of thumbnails for Disney videos. And one of them is it's called Twins, and it's 2 kids on a plane, and it's Twin Towers are behind them.
Dude, I was the one who sent all of those.
Oh, was it? Well, I sent you some of them back, and there was I totally forgot the one that I was going to mention off of what you guys were saying. Now I don't remember what it was. God damn it!
One sec. Sorry. I'm about to send every saved one that I have to you guys.
They're so funny.
They're so good. But no, what Braden is talking about, the show's called Moose Tensei or something. Musa Tensei. I can't remember. My God, this is gonna piss me off because I actually did like the show.
It's the one with the buff wolf waifu.
Yes,
it was the only reason to watch that show.
Yes, she's great. Her character's great. The main character is a very complicated character, a lot more complicated than other main characters, where they just kind of make them dull and boring, because then you can put yourself in their shoes.
Right.
Essentially, he's this no life NEET or whatever the fuck they call him in Japan, and It's neat. Okay. And he he got fat. He got bullied for being fat. He was,
As one does.
yes. And then he, on the day, like, I think it was like his dad or like his mom died or something. Instead of like going to the funeral, he was like jacking off, like legit, just like watching porn and masturbating the whole day.
While maining Dizzy.
Yeah. On Guilty Gear.
Revelator.
So, and then he finally gets out. He's gonna try and, I think he just had gone rejected from another job, and then he saw someone was about to get hit by a truck, and then he just pushes them out of the way and then dies, and then gets reincarnated into the body of Remus, whatever his name is, and
AKA the worst character in Street Fighter.
Yes. And he then, it's the same bullshit isekai trope where the main character is like super strong in magic. He's like super gifted and talented in it. But you literally watch him start out as a baby, and then like as a toddler, like you watch, different parts of his life, and like each episode's like he's a baby. The next episode, he's like a year old. The next episode, he's like 2. So like you legit.
But the issue is that it's still the gross meat as the narrator.
Yeah, so he doesn't lose his memories from his past life. So the issue is when he is a child and he has like some like childhood romance, that because he has the mind of a 30-year-old, even though he's technically a child and he's being influenced by his body's hormones still, is he allowed to like someone the same age as him? Because like in the show, it shows him like being sexually interested in women who are typically older.
Yeah.
At first, and then he finds someone attractive who's like his same age in the body that he's in.
6 at this point.
9. He is like 9 or 10.
That doesn't make it any better.
It does not make it any better, but and so that's a big conflict in the show for like a lot of viewers, where they're like, is this pedophilia? Like, what the fuck is happening here?
Wow.
Because of like how technically advanced his mind is. But then I feel like that argument is almost akin, because like he's legit in the body. He is also at that point 9 or 10.
Yeah.
He's the same age. And also technically the girl he fucks is his cousin, which is a whole other thing. Yeah. But for me, I'm like, well, like his body is that age. And then when people are like, well, he has the mind of like a 30-year-old, I'm like, okay, yeah, but it would be just as gross if a 30-year-old fucked him, and like, or like he had like, a somewhat of like a weird relationship with like someone who was way older. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that either. So what is he, like, doomed to just be where he's at? And then like, I'd say like some kids.
Truck Kun brought him to the new world. Yeah. That doesn't mean he gets a second chance. Well,
here's the thing. His spirit, like his body died. His spirit never, and his mind also never really developed past high school, right? Like he just kind of shut down and like didn't like grow or like learn more after that. So I don't know. It's tricky. The show is cool though, because the other characters are super interesting and like their story arcs are like cool. And I mean, the main character is complicated, and I feel like he's just a complicated character, and that's a big part of it. So
I think that's what their intentions are.
I think when I was kind of like explaining to you why I don't like the show, is that the show kind of fell into the isekai trap for me, to where, hey, if we didn't have that as an isekai, it would be so much more of a well-rounded show. Like, if that show wasn't an isekai, like, it'd be a decent show. Like, not quite my thing, just because of the studio that makes it isn't really my taste towards animation.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, if you didn't make this an isekai, I felt like this would have been a infinitely better show. It's not like Konosuba, where being an isekai makes it a better
Hilarious.
show.
Yeah.
It's like it's the isekai trap where it's like, oh, sad boy meets truck kun and becomes OP in another world. Oh wait, why is his mom there? Oh no. It's time to bring out the flashcards of why is it always incest?
Yeah, that is a big thing in Japan. Yeah.
The other flashcard is why is it always eugenics? But that's for
Oh my god, yeah.
in real life.
Yeah, that's also a real life thing, yes. Yeah,
like,
but
I legit somewhere I have a flashcard that says why is it always eugenics? Just because watching TV or YouTube or whatever, I have had to say why is it always eugenics so many times. I just saved my breath and wrote it down on a flashcard and flash it up.
Yeah. I will agree with you. I will say if they cut out the whole, if they just started like from Remus being a baby and then maybe he was just abnormally intelligent as a baby instead of like, you know,
making it weird.
Yeah.
being a reincarnation of a 30-year-old man, or like his spirit is now put into this body. I think that would have been so much better. And it would also make everything else the main character does way less complicated and way less weird.
Gross.
And gross. Yes. Very, very gross. Because once he becomes an adult, then, you know, it's chill. He's not even really an adult in the second season. In the second season, he's like a teenager. But you do eventually watch him become an adult. So
it's like when he's looking at buff wolf waifu, when he's looking at her ass, like if it was just the character without the isekai, I'd be like, oh hell yeah, you go, kiddo. I'm glad you aren't one of the cowards that is scared of women who lift. But when it's the isekai, it's like, this just seems like coercive. I'm like, I don't like it.
It contextualizes it in a different format. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the more I kind of thought about it too, I don't know. Reading it was, I wouldn't even say better, but like the manga was all right.
You didn't have the voice of the narrator.
That is true. That voice is gross.
Yeah.
And
like this is coming from a guy whose favorite characters are Jiraiya and Master Roshi.
Yes.
And like when I'm saying, okay, I think I'm gonna have to draw the line here, I mean, oh yeah, I need to draw the line right here.
Yes, 100% right there. Yeah, it was kind of nuts. But honestly, like, I think when I read it too, I didn't even like, I definitely didn't have that voice in my head. I definitely didn't have, I kind of viewed it as if the spirit itself just imbued this baby with an abnormal level of intelligence. Like it just kind of came into the world with like an extra intelligence. And instead of it being the guy, it was the main character is now Remus. That is who they are. They're Remus. They're not the old character.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right.
That
so like
such a stronger narrative point, because at that way you're only worrying about getting too close to copying Harry Potter.
Yes.
And
right.
That's your concern.
Yeah. So that is and that's the way I viewed it. And maybe that was just a defense mechanism for me, so I don't have to feel gross about watching a show with like other characters that I really enjoyed watching their story arcs. I don't know.
When you were conceptualizing it in that way with how you read it, I could understand why it would be seen like the way you did. Mm-hmm. But when it was like fully voiced, fully animated, like filler. It just to where I didn't have any knowledge of it or having read any of it. It just was really, really not good for work.
Oh no, I mean definitely not good for work. Most anime isn't.
What is with it? What is with it? With like the pedophile, making manga and anime. I'm pretty sure the Ryori Kenshin dude is still in Japanese prison.
Right. Oh man.
Talk about separating art from the artist.
God damn. Yep. Oh. I mean, it's easier when you don't. I don't know. When you're not like living in that area and you don't have to like kind of like think about it every time that you see it.
At least we still have Berserk.
Yes, Berserk is a sacred ground. So
really though, where like, hey, fucked up shit happens, but the fucked up shit was presented in a way that made you know, hey, guess what? This is fucked up.
Yeah.
And yet there are still people who say that Griffith did nothing wrong.
What, like legitimately? I feel like that's just a joke, right? Like that has to be a joke.
No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. Hey, anyone listening to this from the far future, right? If you are one of the people who say unironically that Griffith did nothing wrong, I want you to go to your bathroom. I want you to look in the mirror. Take a good long look. Turn off the lights and say Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror and do the world a favor.
Also, I hope someone pins you down and then makes you watch as they, do some stuff to the love of your life,
Oh my
God.
before walking up to you, looking you in the eyes, and then whispering in your ear, I'm gonna fuck you like a truck.
Yep. And also like right before that person that does that to you, you went and saved them. Like you went and helped them out because, you care a lot about them. And they were like also your best friend. So then I hope that happens to you if you say
and also they kind of took you in when you were homeless and you thought that they were your best friend and they did a lot for you and you've done a lot for them.
Yeah.
You killed a lot of their enemies.
A lot of their enemies.
And that way, later on, after all of this, when that person is killing all of his men because he thinks it's going to ascend him to a higher plane, no one will look at you and say, I told you so.
Yeah.
Berserker.
Berserker. Well, I think that's a good place to end today's episode. So,
for you, it's like a truck.
Well, if you guys manage to
making fuck. Berserker.